Hey guys, today's Wednesday, so it's time for midweek motivation. Today we're going to talk a little bit about faith. We're going to deal with two different types of faith, something I saw online. It's called if-then faith versus though faith. And we're going to talk about just kind of the ways in which we view our faith and kind of the faith we should have. Well, not kind of, but actually the faith that we should have. The two different types, again, are if-then faith or though faith. If-then faith refers to when we say, essentially, if something happens, then I will praise God, I will do stuff right. If God, if you just get me this job, then I'll go to church every week. Or if you just get me through this, then everything will be okay. And this is one of the things, one of the places you can really see this is in Genesis with Jacob. When Jacob was on his way home, he said, this is Genesis, I think 28 verses 20, and it says, Jacob made a solemn promise. If God is with me and protects me on this trip I'm taking and gives me bread to eat and clothes to wear, and I return safely to my father's house, then the Lord will be my God. And honestly, that's the type of faith a lot of us have. If God does this for us, if we make it through this, if, then I will do what God says. But that's not really the type of faith that we should have. We should have that though faith, and you see that in the book of Job, where Job, everybody knows all the stuff that happened to Job. His life was going real good, then it went real bad, and his wife kept trying to get him to curse God, and was really, just really adamant about it. And this is what he said. He says, "Though he slay me, yet I will hope in him. I surely defend my ways to his face." In other words, even though things are going bad with me, even though my life isn't the way I want it to go, even though my kids are acting crazy, even though my job is tough, even though I may not have enough money to buy food tomorrow, even though but my bills may not get paid, I will still praise God. And in the midst of our week, when things are getting the toughest and we have a little bit to go to get to the end, to get to that rest of the weekend, I want us to focus on that though faith. So many times we think our relationship with God is dependent on really how we feel. It's if God does this for us, then we should do this. But the key thing with that, many of the relationships we have in general, is they should be a though. I love my kids even though they act crazy. I love my job even when people aren't acting right. Or I love the things we're going, the way life is going with me, even though they aren't going the way that I want them to. It's a way of looking at that positivity, and it's a way of not really balancing life on how we believe it should be, but accepting life as it is and keeping that faith through it. So as we go through our lives, as we go through this week, I want us to think about stuff, not think about our relationship with God as a if then, but think of it as a though. Though, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And this, I thought it was a really good one. I found it from a pastor down in Georgia, a small time pastor. You may have heard of him. His name's Martin Luther King. I mean, but what I'll do is I'll post, I'm gonna post in the comments, I'll post a link to his version of it, which is essentially the same scriptures, but it being Martin Luther King is a whole lot better than I did. So I hope this gets you through. If you like it, please share, comment. Let me know if this helped you out, and if so, we can continue doing this. All right, y'all stay blessed.